There's only so many things if we had it. There's only so many things in this matchup that are worth taking control of. So we'll see if he gives us one. Yeah, that's worth taking control of. Actually, I'd like to be the guy that casts that. Thank you very much. Can I be the one to cast that? Thank you. I'll be the one to cast that. You could have snared the goblin to slow down the moon, says Chromatic Blast. I mean, we have nothing going on, Barkeem. I can't let him even have two goblins. They needed to be ours in this case. I wish he had some storm, yes, because then the commandeer would have been sweeter. Would have been a bigger Morphos. Pop this. We won't be able to cast the snare though anyway. Another one. Okay. Yep, his is going to be better than ours for a multitude of reasons. One, he's got an Ascension trigger. Okay. Actually, if I hit an Anger, we probably win this, don't we? Because I can just buy us the time that we need. I should have cracked that there. There's that blue source. It really was just there. Maybe I should have just immediately relicked. I mean, these goblins buy me a lot of time, but maybe I should have just popped the relic immediately. I mean, there was the island. No, you don't get all of them on biologists if I'm not mistaken. Or no, maybe you do, because the storm trigger goes on the stack. Like you take ability, you take the first one, and then the storm ability happens. Barkeem says no. That is a good question. I think I'm supposed to just snare this and just hope. Biologist says, really? Juice says, I don't think so. I don't think so either. Otherwise, I think more people would try it. There's a negate. Okay. It's way above my pay grade. Lordoni says no, but it gets to control the trigger. There you go. We really had no way to stop the Blood Moon, gentlemen, and we really didn't see any fetches until the moon had already happened, unfortunately. I don't know, favorite, I'm tired. And you're right. I could have just cracked this. I would turn off the Ascension potential for another few turns. You're right. That's my excuse, though. I'm kind of had a long day. He's only swinging 2 Gabos? Interesting. Okay. Is it a good excuse? No. I'm pretty exhausted, though, friends. But yes, we could have turned off potentially the Ascension. Snapcaster for what? I mean, at that point, we only had what? We had a Bolt. That's relevant. I mean, yes, we have kind of neutered our top deck Snapcasters. Yep. But would a Snap Bolt have even been that great? Can trade Snap with a Goblin? Can I race? I'm at 16. He's at 9. Maybe I just end step the Snappy? A Snap Bolt would have changed things, though. Would have put him to 6, and then we could have had a much better clock. It's okay, I'm not blaming anybody that said we should crack the Relic. Because I agreed with them. I said, let's go for it. Yeah, ritual's scary. Okay. I agreed. I was like, let's go for it. Then we top a snappy. He wasn't attacking because I was winning the race. Jeez, another one? Okay. I mean, now we're pretty much anger, Jace, or bust. He doesn't have all that much time left, though. He's got 56 seconds. And he hasn't been managing his ascension triggers all that well. A plains. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. I am. Deal damage to his clock. I think he can still get there in time. He's got 40 seconds. 43 seconds. So I'm at 14. Even if I like snap block a goblin, it doesn't change anything. We do have to top deck something, gents. Like a snap block on a goblin doesn't buy me the necessary time. Pretty sure I do have to top something to win this one. And that's okay. No, snap wouldn't have been relevant to change this clock. A second Snapcaster doesn't change it either. Now, if I had blocked with a Snapcaster, it actually did change it, guys. If we had gone for a Snap block, we would have taken and gone to only 6. But since we didn't go for the Snapcaster block, I think all of this actually spiraled out of control by using the Relic. I think if we hadn't used the Relic, if we still had a bolt, the Snapcaster plan was better. And plus we only had one blue source, so I couldn't do like a double snap block. No, it was well played on both sides. Yeah, we can't cast double snap. Since his opponent living dangerously. No, he's got us. That's game. He wins. That's too bad, though. Blood Moon. It's okay. But no, we really had little we could do to play around it, guys. Like, we didn't have... we actually didn't see a fetch land until after the Blood Moon happened. The same thing can happen to a Jund deck, you know? It doesn't really matter what you're playing. The very same thing could happen to Jund. Favorite says, to be fair, I meant using the Relic earlier. No, Favorite, I'm not blaming you or myself. I think, in fairness, we probably just didn't need to use it. We either needed to use the Relic before 2 counters, or we didn't need to use it either. Dribble says you flooded hard. I did. Sideboard Tamiya was great, Dirigible. Did you miss the debrief? That makes me sad if you missed it. You should actually, instead of watching this, because you're not going to know anything we're talking about, Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I would recommend guys watching the debrief. If you didn't watch the debrief, then you guys have no idea the sweetness. Or that I day 2'd the GP, which is cool. That's what I'm sending to you right now, Dirigible, so you can watch it. Because you're basically going to ask all the same questions everybody asked yesterday. And I'm happy to answer the same questions, I really am. But I'd actually rather just play some Magic for the next 45 minutes and then go to bed. There you go. You can hear it from the Sean of yesterday's past. Matt, I never lost to Infect once. We've got a main deck Sudden and I sideboard into one. Blue-White Red's usually pretty well versed against Infect. One of my buddies actually was playing and testing the deck. I mean, in our testing, I lost to him occasionally because he knows what he's doing and he knows my list. But I didn't lose to a single person in the GP with Infect. Not one once. Team Darkwater says it was a great recap. You all should have been there. It would have been nice. It's okay. I was hoping you guys would be there too. No, then you won't watch it. I know how you think, Dirigible, or at least I'm assuming that I do. If I tell you the record, you won't watch it. Good luck, have fun. Let me just hang my head in shame. Keep. How's it going, Bill Nye? what was my worst matchup then? The deck's pretty well versed. I'd say the worst matchup is... Normally, Jesguy's worst matchup is probably Tron. The thing is what I took to the GP had a tutorable boom bust. So basically, even Tron wasn't a big issue. I did lose to one Tron player. All the other Tron players actually, which was great. Like, there's something to have, like, having main deck land destruction. Like, I would assume the hard matchup for Jesguy is normally Tron, but that wasn't the case with our build. So I don't know what its hard matchups were, because the thing I lost to was like Mardudu mid-range. It was a really good deck though. It was piloted by, I made fast friends with this guy named Garrett. He played that, Mardudu control. That was something I lost to. I don't know what the hard matchups are, because it's not really Jesguy. It's kind of its own thing, but it was, our 3 match losses were Mardudu control, or mid-range. We lost against blue-red Delver, and I lost to green-red Trondrazi. It's like a homebrewed Trondrazi. It was good, though. And I did get in him, but he told me, with his 21 land deck, he literally topped nothing but land. And I was like, that'll do it. But I did blow up all his lands first. Esper Brain is trash against Tron. Yeah, I mean, the cool thing is the boom bust. Like, it honestly really rounds out the deck nicely. It gives you the ability to beat, like, Scape Shifts, the Valakut deck. Okay, we get to see us against a Trondrazi deck here, maybe. Alright, Seer. Now, this is an opponent where I would love to boom bust, and we can't do it on Magic Online. They still haven't fixed the bug. That's okay. Our matchups against decks that we need to blow up all their lands will be harder. But I knew that going into this league. I still put us on. The GP, it was... I wouldn't say it was a joke. You'd still have to either draw the boom bust or tutor for it, but... a lot of the decks that normally give Jesguy trouble, and I used to play Jesguy back in the day. That was my modern deck until I sold out of it. A lot of the decks that normally gave Jesguy trouble, the boom bust will let you steal a lot of game ones from them. Which is, I think, one of the reasons I was in the day 2 bracket, because some of the matches that normally blue at red would just straight up lose, or you'd have to get very lucky, I was winning the game 1 of. You know, I was winning game 1 against Tron, which is, I would say, maybe 20%, 30%. It's well below 50% in your favor. All Brain, I boarded it out, and then they bring in, like, Artifact Hate, which is nice. Alright, Shaper. I'm never usually a huge fan of, like, helixing a Shaper, but I think I'd do it here. It's fine. If he hits a creature, he hits a creature. Don't hit a creature. No. Oh, glorious. Card is ridiculous. If people, like, sit there and they... Ooh, quarter the temple. That's tempting. If people are wondering what are some of the best cards in the Drazi decks... Believe it or not, Reshaper's one of them. It's actually pretty solid. Draw a step. Let's go after the temple. It's pretty good. It does replace itself. Connor says, Sean, podcast is sounding good so far. Connor, why don't you link it? The podcast link. So, gentlemen, I did a podcast, and Connor hosted it. If you guys don't know Connor, his resume, he was an employee of Star City Games for years. The man, I've been really... Well, you already know this, Connor, but I'm telling my stream. I asked him a lot of questions today on the... I really racked your brain about that. Oh, I think my opponent might be talking to me. Hang on. No, he's not. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and link that. There has to be some sort of 2-mana hoser for Tron. Just run Commandeer in your board. Just run Commandeer. Yeah, do yourself a favor. I actually listen to the Card Hoarder podcast most every week. I need to catch up on last week's because I was a little bit busy with preparing for the GP. But do yourself a favor, listen to it. It really is good. I'm not making that up. We're going to get another Hallowed Fountain, hopefully, here on this one if we have time. Oof, he had the temple again. Gross. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if they have double temple, there's not much I can do to take him off it with a quarter. We're going to path before the ability resolves. God, that's brutal. Okay.